Right, we're going to be photographing those two items there. Basically, we're going to test the lenses out. We'll check focusing speed, also focus accuracy. All these lenses that we are testing, both the Sport, Contemporary and the Tamron, are going to be recent purchases. So that's April 2016. So any firmware updates should have been done prior to purchase, obviously. Okay, this is the angle and the position of where the camera is. We're going to be taking pictures on a 7D. Obviously, the focusing will be a bit quicker on a full frame camera, such as the 5D Mark III and the 6D. But hopefully this test will give you an indication on quickness on focus. If it's this good on a crop, it should be really good on full frame. But I'm going to give you some comparison images. Hopefully that will be helpful, and we'll see about the quality and how good it is. Okay, on the Contemporary lens, we're going to test the focusing and hopefully give you some test shots. And let's see what we get. But what I want to do is test the focusing for you guys, so you can see how quick it is at various focal lengths. What we're going to be shooting at is 400 ISO, 6.3, and hopefully this will give you an indication on the quality at wide open. So at 150mm on this lens on a crop sensor body, keep in mind at 600 we'll be getting 960mm in focal length. So let's defocus it to its minimum of 2.8. Okay, that's focused nicely. Let's go to infinity. Try again. Okay, that's nice. Quite quick. So let's zoom in to 300mm. Okay, we're in there. Now let's move it to its minimum focus, and let's test how quickly it focuses. That's nice and quick. Let's go to infinity. Locked on, nice. Let's try it at 400mm. Let's go to minimum focus of 2.8 meters on the Contemporary. Yeah, that's locked on. Let's go to infinity. It's locked on. Let's try at 500mm now. Go to minimum focus at 2.8 meters. It's locked on. Let's go to infinity. Give that another try. Right, it's locked on. Let's try it 600mm. Let's put it to its minimum focus. There was a bit of hesitation, but it could be due to low light. Let's try it again. Slight hesitation, but it still got there in the end. Let's try infinity. Yep, it got there. It's possible that we're not quite aligned, so let's just move it up a little bit. So we're on the centre. This is centre point, by the way, at 6.3 at 400 ISO. So let's go to 2.8 meters again. Let's focus. Yeah, got there. At infinity, let's give that a go. And it got there. So it does seem to hesitate a little bit at 600mm, but not a huge amount. And that's the Sigma Contemporary. And that's the quickness of the focusing on the Sigma Contemporary. Next we're going to try the Sport, and then hopefully that will be helpful. Okay, here is the beast, the 150 to 600 sports lens. I can tell you it is quite heavy. So we're going to do some focusing tests, and hopefully it'll give you an idea how quick it is compared to the Contemporary under the same conditions. And I hope you find it useful. So we want to go into manual override, so we can adjust the focusing. So at 150mm, let's defocus it to the 2.6 meters it can focus to. Keep in mind that is 2 centimeters better than the Contemporary and 1 centimeter better than the Tamron. So that's 6.3, 400 ISO. Let's see how quick it focuses. Okay, let's do that again. What you've got to remember is the light isn't great. That's fine. Right, let's go to infinity and see how it does. Fine. Right, let's go to 200. It is extremely stiff to move the actual zoom ring. So let's give that a go at minimum focus. That's fine. Let's go to infinity. That's fine. Got a 300. Minimum focus. That's fine. Just might need to just readjust the framing a little bit so it replicates what we've done on the other ones. So let's just do that again. That's fine. Let's go to infinity. That's fine. I noticed that the framing needs to be adjusted a bit more with the bigger lens in terms of your single point focusing. Right, let's try 400. Minimum focus. That's fine. Go to infinity. That's fine. Go to 500mm. Minimum focus. That's fine. Infinity. That's fine. 600mm. And it is really stiff at that end. Go to minimum. That's fine. I do find the weight of the lens drops it down a bit on you when you're tightening your tripod. And your minimum. Let's try that again, just to make sure I got it right. Let's try right, 600mm. Let's Go from minimum focus 2.6. That's fine. And infinity. That's fine. And that's the quickness of the focus. I hope you find that useful in determining which one you prefer. You know, the Contemporary did struggle at 600 a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. Let's try infinity. There you go. It does seem to be a better focusing system than the Contemporary, but only slightly. I hope you found this video helpful in terms of determining how quick the focus is. Hello, and here's the Tamron. We're going to do the similar test to what we've done with the Contemporary. It's important to note though that the minimum focus on the Tamron is 2.7 meters instead of 2.8, so it is a bit better for close focusing. Now, as we've done with the Contemporary, we're going to stick to 6.3 at 400 ISO. If you're interested in having a test shot at f8, I will provide that so you can compare both lenses on the same subject matter. So, without further ado, we're going to test the focusing. So, 150mm, let's go to minimum focus and test it. Okay, that locked on. Let's go to infinity. Okay, that locked on. Now let's just try 200mm. And a minimum focus. Okay, we're locked on. Let's try infinity. I must say that the actual focusing ring is a lot smoother than the Contemporary and easier to turn. Okay, we're locked on. Let's try it at 300. Minimum focus. Locked on. Let's go to infinity. Locked on. Let's go to 400. Let's go to minimum. Try again because we moved the camera slightly. Let's try that again. Locked on. Let's go to infinity. Locked on. So let's try it 500mm. Let's move it to infinity again. Okay, we're locked on. Let's go to infinity again. Locked on. I don't see any problems there. Now this is where the Sigma struggled at 600mm. So let's try and realign it. Let's just go back to 2.7. Right, it got there. However, I'm surprised. That means some of the other reviews I've seen sort of indicate there was a problem with the Sigma. Well, there seems to be a problem with the Tamron as well. It is low light though. Try again. But infinity. Let's try that again. Try again. Well, it locked on then. Let's try it. Minimum focus. It's locked on. Does seem to be a slight hesitation, but it is quite low light. If you're interested, the shutter speed we're getting ranging from 80th of a second to 125th of a second. So that's the Tamron. We're going to take some test shots, and hopefully that will show you the results. Hello, here's another video about the three super zoom lenses that we're testing. I've come outside to do a test, so we have some real world examples for you to see. I wanted to do this video outside, so there was no complaints about being a not fair test because it was indoors regarding the testing of the lenses. So I'll get some examples for you and just watch them. Thank you. And thank you for watching. The main purpose of this video was to find out which is the best out of the super zooms, from the 150-600 contemporary Sigma lens, the sport version of that lens, and the 150-600 Tamron lens. Basically, I wanted to get the best lens for me that was reasonably light but had a good sharp image. So it was basically to find out which was the sharpest out of the three. And for my needs, I think the contemporary fits the bill. I've obviously cropped in there at 200% so you guys can see the image quality differences. I hope this video has been helpful answering your questions, because there's a lot of reviews out there that don't give you the answers you want to know. So thank you for watching and have a nice day. Thank you for coming to see another review of the 100-400 Mark II lens. This video is about my opinions of using the lens over the past couple of days. Basically, I've gone out to a local park, taken many images of birds, wildlife, done some test shots on cars, and also some squirrels and basically basic scenery. One last note, I just wanted to say a big thank you to Dustin Abbott, who has done some quite extensive reviews, including the 100 to 400 Mark II lens. I'm going to put a link to his very interesting and entertaining videos in the description, as well as the Sigma reviews that he's done, which may be of some interest to you. If obviously this video has put you off the 100 to 400, possibly consider one of the Sigmas or the Tamron. Check out his videos. I'll put all the links in the description so you can see all his different reviews for the 100 400 Mark II, the Tamron and the Sigmas, and hopefully that will give you more insight in which lens you prefer to go for. As you can see, that is a filter, which is the Sigma DG 77mm one. So we're going to try the test again without the filter on, because some people have been indicating there is a possibility of the filter interfering with focus. So, without further ado, let's change it to minimum focus again at 100mm. Quite quick. Let's change it to infinity. Quite quick. Let's change it to 200. Minimum focus 98cm again. Fairly quick. Let's change it to infinity focus and try again. Okay, so we're going to change it to 300mm this time. Change it to minimum focus again, and let's change it to infinity. Okay, let's go to 400mm minimum focus. And let's change that to infinity at 400mm. So this test shows removing any sort of UV filter off the lens has virtually no bearing on the speed of the focusing. So I hope that's been helpful to anyone who has wondered if a UV filter is interfering with their focusing speed. What I would like to report is I'm not too happy about the lens. I thought possibly having a UV filter on the front of the lens could be an issue, because some people had done reviews or had the lens and put filters on and found it wasn't as accurate as it should be. What I can report is the image stabilization is very good. However, it does seem that it does struggle to focus. And I'll give you an example. Is I was photographing quite a large bird. You can see an example here. Basically, I got this shot, but at one point it went completely out of focus. And basically, the image is quite small in the frame. It was coming into the frame and getting bigger and bigger, so I could have a full frame headshot. But for some reason the lens just lost focus completely. If I compare it to my 300mm lens, which is around 420mm with the 1.4 teleconverter, it's actually slower in terms of focusing, which I didn't expect with it being a newer lens. So that's my roundup of the lens really. It's quality wise, you can't beat it, it's very good quality wise, but I have found it to be lacking in terms of how much reach you actually get out of the lens, because I think 100 to 400 is quite short for wildlife photography. I think ideally you'll need 500mm, 600 if you can. Obviously you can think about using the 70 to 200 with a 2x teleconverter, might be a better way to go. I did actually do a test on a Mark I 70 to 200 lens, and the focus is actually probably on par with this lens with the teleconverter on. So I don't think this lens is any faster than having a 70-200 with a teleconverter on, if I'm honest. The only difference is your image might be slightly clearer. Now Tony Northrup has done a review and a video of comparing the 100-400 Mark II with the 70-200 Mark II with a teleconverter on, and his opinion seems to suggest that basically the quality is more or less the same. So in my roundup of using the 100-400 quite extensively over the past week is I'm not happy with it basically. The reach isn't long enough for me to justify keeping this lens alongside a 300mm prime with a 1.4 teleconverter. Actually I'm getting less reach from a 100-400 even on a crop body compared to having a 300mm with a 1.4 teleconverter or extender on it. Basically you're getting 383mm from the 100-400 Mark II lens, but you're getting 420mm with a 300mm prime with a 1.4 teleconverter, and then obviously just work out your equations for what that works out at a crop. But basically you're getting more reach with that combination than the 100-400. The only difference is you can't zoom in and out, but then again, what is your priority? Is it quick focus or is it the ability to zoom in and out? So that's my roundup of the review. If you're interested, check out the other, I think it's 2 or 3 videos I've done. There is other content out there for you to have a look at in regards to the previous videos. What I'll do is I'll put a full list of all the review videos I've done on this particular lens, and it's up to you to make your mind up. But what I will say about the lens is it's extremely good quality. It's fantastic in terms of portability, it's very small. The reach 100-400, even when you work it out in a crop, is 160mm to 640mm. Unfortunately, that's not quite enough if you have been looking at the Sigma lenses, which are even longer, or the Tamron. So that's my roundup of the review. My opinion is it's pretty good, but the focus is unreliable, and if you need something that's going to be reliable to take your pictures, I'd probably steer you towards a prime lens, or possibly the Sigma 150-600 Sport Edition. Anyway, I hope this video has been helpful.